I've lived in this apartment for 3 years, and I've always loved how quiet it is. It's an old brownstone in Brooklyn, the kind with thick walls and heavy doors. But last Tuesday, the silence broke. It started as a rhythmic tapping. Thump, thump, thump. It wasn't coming from the neighbors or the street. It was coming from inside the wall, right behind my headboard. I figured it was just old pipes or maybe a squirrel that had found its way into the insulation. I banged on the drywall, and the tapping stopped instantly. The next night, it wasn't tapping. It was a scratching sound, like long fingernails dragging against the back of the plaster. I sat up, heart racing, and whispered, "Hello?" The scratching stopped. Then a voice whispered back. It was muffled, sounding like it was miles away, but it said my name. Mark. I didn't sleep. The next morning, I called my landlord. He came over with a handyman, and they cut a small hole in the drywall to check for pests. There was nothing. No pipes, no wires, no animals. Just an empty, narrow cavity between the studs. "Must be the wind whistling through a crack in the brick," the landlord said, patching it up. That night, I stayed awake, staring at the fresh patch of white plaster. At 3:14 a.m., the sound returned. But it wasn't a scratch or a thump. It was the sound of a zipper. Slow, methodical, and very close. And then a thin, pale finger poked through the wet plaster of the patch. Not from the outside in, but from the inside out. I haven't been back to the apartment since. The police found nothing, but they did mention one